Hey, how's it going? It's the Polk here. Welcome back to Haiti. We're going to continue this series, and I'm still looking at what's going on because I just pulled it back up. So we're still working on paying our debt off. We're a little bit in debt here on our own, additional debt, I guess. A little bit of interest, not that huge of a deal, and we're only paying 1,000 now in additional expenses. But our goal is to pay that debt off, build up some universities, and continue growing. So we're going to keep doing that. I mean, I'd say we're doing pretty good. 1.4 million people, 1.5, it's 4.9, whatever. 1.5 now. We're pulling in a little bit of migration. I don't know if that's maybe from one state to the other. Yeah, one state to the other. Um, we need to work on getting actual migration from outside of our own country. And in order to do that, we're going to have to get away from this national supremacy. So, yeah, racial segregation would be nice. I mean, obviously, it's not nice, but it'd be better than national supremacy. Just moving in the right direction. So, it looks like the rural folk would support that, and I'm not sure if we can get them into the government, but we'll see. We'll check really quick. Like, okay, yeah, we can get them in right now. It looks like we might have switched over. Oh, and immediately got a mass migration, even without this. So it's mainly Afro-Antillians that are coming, but we're going to go ahead and bump it down to racial segregation because I'm sure that's a bit of an issue. Um, well, there's really nobody else here. I think, okay, they're getting a plus 40 acceptance. So that's fine. And then the Carabino, they might have some issues. Yeah, 0 acceptance, so this should help them a little bit. But our main is the Afro-Antillian, which is African heritage. There you go. African heritage, francophone, so we'll be able to get a lot of stuff from France, potentially, even Canada, French Canadian. Hang on. Okay. And yeah, looks like we're not having anybody block this, so that's awesome. We're gonna get new leadership. I'm not sure, I didn't really read what party, that my bad. Another thing I want to focus on too is potentially getting some of these resources ourselves. So as Haiti, we have no access to iron. Um, what is that? Puerto Rico plantations. Okay. Um, does Jamaica have iron? No. Does this Bahamas? No. So we're probably gonna have to like hop over and start grabbing Central American stuff just to get that iron. So best bet is probably just gonna be Guatemala. They don't have a lot of people, but we're hoping to solve that by taking them and having better laws potentially than they do. I don't know what they have. Relation. Okay, so Maya's got 0 acceptancy, and Central American also 0, so they're basically just being oppressed. Which is weird. Oh, it's 0 for us, I guess. Yeah, so we may want to improve that a little bit, give them more acceptance to our cult and our government before we take anything. Because what I don't want to do is like scare them away into other states. That's a interesting Los Altos. I've never seen it actually bigger than like this tiny bit. Maybe because I actually don't know. Is that the full state? Yeah, they're not a split state. That's pretty cool. So that's kind of a difference in history, I suppose. Peru, Bolivia definitely didn't stay together. Or at least they haven't finished. I don't know yet. Have to dig deeper on that one. The German Federation's already formed 30 years into the game. Italy's still having issues. France is a republic. The Ottoman Empire still got a hold on Moldavia and Wallachia. The Persian Empire's fought a little bit of Afghanistan, and it also looks like Kandahar has managed to pull things together a little bit. The Heavenly Kingdom exists. There we go, we got racial segregation. I am curious to see if we can get it further, though. I mean, look, we're building railways already. Cultural exclusion is definitely not supported by the rural folk right now. It's only supported by the intelligentsia. Let's look at why. They're considered traditionalists, so the only way to switch that would be to get a different person in here. Same thing here, they're traditionalists, so... most everybody's traditionalist, so that's kind of an annoying, in my opinion. I don't like traditionalist supporters. That might actually be a valid strategy, going for national militia. Because we can't really support our military. I mean, I guess we can. We got a little bit. Potential to go towards a monarchy is there. We could go towards homesteading. Be an interesting one. Taxation is only going to go backwards. Mercantilism is fine. And we're good with interventionalism. They would like agrarianism more, but there's actually opposition here, so we're going to stay away from it. And migration controls, they only want to close it further, so... I think right now we're pretty solid. The only thing I'd like to go towards is freedom of conscience, but I don't think that's going to happen with everyone being traditionalists. So we're just going to have to work away from the traditionalists by educating people and getting them more wealth and increasing their standard of living. Yeah. I always take the authority hit over the standard of living hit personally. Okay. Again, I would really love to get an island from Britain or Spain if we can. I doubt Cuba is going to give us anything. We've tried to do this a few times. So Puerto Rico, 100%, minus 374, that's just not going to happen. Now, I could support their independence and get a plus 140, and I could take on their debt. So I'm at 230. State transfer. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. They liked it till I added the state transfer. Surprise. Okay. Well, what about Britain? Would Britain give us anything? That's the real question. Can we get any islands anywhere in the world? No, not really. It'd be nice to be able to support this by acceptance, maybe. I could get British Guatemala, and that would help us push into Guatemala later, potentially. That looks a lot easier than getting some of the other stuff. British Guiana is also just as easy, and I would rather have that. We can give them investment rights for 35. Power Block Embassy. So we're at minus 45 now. I said we could do a prohibit. Sure, we'll have our own coffee. We'll have our own tobacco. We'll get it from them. Yeah, we could definitely add in a few of these, and that might actually be enough. And it's only a 5-year deal, so I don't actually care if we don't get coffee and tobacco. With that, it's a 25% chance they'll accept it. I'm going to keep going further and do like, hey Britain, I will not get, let's say, tools. Oh no, I'm not going to do that one. Let's do, I did coffee. We can do maybe clippers. Prohibit global import and export of clippers. Okay, so it's saying I can't trade these things, period. So I'd have to produce them myself. I think that's what the goal is here. So I mean, I could do grain. Coal is something we're going to need, so I can't really say no to that. Tools are expensive in our market and we don't really produce them. Maybe I can say I'll put no tariffs on, say, liquor, because I don't really care. Like, it's just up to 60%. And then I'll put no tariffs or subventions on tobacco since I can't trade it anyway. So we're at an 85% chance. So we'll go again with the coffee. And there we go. It's still an 85% chance, so I'm going to remove that maybe. And we'll try it. It's a lot that we're giving them. Ah, they declined it. Come on, man. It's a pretty good deal for them. 85% chance. That's wild. We'll just have to try again later. Unless it lets us do it immediately, but I don't think it will. Does that say not enough of an improvement on previously rejected treaty? Okay, maybe we just roll back through this and we say we won't buy tobacco, coffee, and we'll just basically redo it. And liquor. I mean, we could do tools. They're expensive in our market, but we do produce them. I think we're buying more than we're definitely buying. I'm fine with adding that this time around. That would be the improvement they're probably looking for. And then we'll do no tariffs on tobacco, no tariffs on coffee, and no tariffs on grain. Are they really gonna not take this? I did liquor, tobacco, and coffee, right? Tobacco, liquor, coffee, yeah. Goods transfer, law commitment, money transfer. I could do a money transfer of, say, like, ooh. I'd be willing to do 1,000 per week for the island. Yeah. Maybe we could do furniture. They'll accept the treaty, so maybe I'll take the money transfer out, see what happens. So we're doing no subventions on furniture. What was the last thing we added? We added no subventions on, we'll do it on liquor as well. There we go. Okay. Alright. So we actually just gained peacefully, and this is the first time I've been able to do this in the game. We actually just gained some land. And it's good land. Doesn't have iron, but we do get a little bit of gold, which is more than worth it. And we could also discuss with France for their portion of Guyana to get another state, and then we could also get the West Indies. We could work on Guatemala later. So basically every 5 years we'll try to do some sort of interesting agreements. So what would it take for them to give us their portion of Guyana? It's 276. Yeah, that's fair. What about the West Indies? 306. They really don't want to trade these things. Well, let's just, out of curiosity, investments rights would give us 29. Yeah, that's pretty much the rest of this crap. We pretty much want to get, like, the same level of stuff. So there's that. And yeah, I think we're solid for a few years. We'll try again for maybe British Guatemala later. But France doesn't seem to want to trade much with us. I'm sure it's because they're also cautious. So that probably doesn't help with the trade itself. There's nothing I can do about that because they're amicable. We could work some sort of agreement maybe, but that's about it. So we're working down the production right now, so mechanized workshops maybe. Curious if the tech spread's going to come here or if it's going to stay. I don't know where else it would go. We're doing pretty good on tech, I think. How many universities do we have? I've actually got 5 universities there and 1 there, so that's better than most of my playthroughs. And, oh, I guess France would have a better opinion once we pay that debt off, too. So, that's something we'll work towards. They're building all of the construction right now, so I'm not too concerned with me building. As long as they can continue to max out their construction with the 45 to 45, we're pretty solid. Yeah, I don't think New Granada's gonna. They might. Has Panama got iron? They got coal. We might be able to discuss with New Granada to get the Panama Canal. So let's see what that might look like. State transfer, Panama 221. It's not bad. It's not good. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Maybe Venezuela might trade a state. I doubt it, but we can check. Bolivar. Actually, they would be likely to do Bolivar. That's weird. That's their yeah. That's their iron state too. So interesting. And that's something that would touch up with our current Guyana. And then if we get this island chain here, it would kind of actually make sense thematically. So yeah, let's just see what that would look like. It's probably not, I don't think we're going to be able to do it. But we can look at what it might take. They would take tools. Yeah, 10%. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of tools if we did that. Money transfer. So they pretty much cap out if we were to pay them 7K, 8K, it'd be 48, so we still need 140. Subventions, they don't care about. Tariffs, they don't seem to care about either. Prohibiting our trade with the world market, they also don't care about. And treaty ports, they don't care. So there's not a whole lot to do with them except maybe pay them later. I don't know if we get more leverage with like an increase in our power, but that is something we could look at. We can definitely afford a larger military now. So that's something I'm going to start working on, is getting a little bit larger of a military. And how long is it going to take to incorporate this? 2 years? It's actually a home, so we're going to go ahead and start incorporating that. And we probably could, yeah, there's a lot of PMs here. Let me start working through these. So more groceries, less liquor, uses more grain. That might be useful. We could produce more liquor. They like that. So we'll do that. We could use canned meat, so we're going to do that. And let's look at this again. Looks like it would just make groceries and liquor super cheap. I'm down because it uses a little less iron. And what we can do is we can subsidize it for the time being and let that kind of build up, and hopefully the demand will go up. We can do dye workshops, so I'm going to do that to increase the amount of clothing we have, because I think I built a dye. No, I didn't. I don't think I have dye. It says I do, actually. Yeah. So we do have dye, but I don't think anybody's working in the plantations, but they will now. We don't have silk for sure, so that's not something we need to look at. I don't think we need more luxury furniture, so I'm going to sit back on that one. Glass, we could use leaded glass. But we don't have any lead. And neither do anybody near us, but we could make porcelain, and that would make this more profitable with the dye. Tools, we're pushing out steel. We don't have steel, so that could be an area to improve on. Sulfite or paper bleaching would also be something we could do, but we don't have sulfur, so I think maybe water tube boiler on this would make sense, and subsidizing. Because right now we're doing maximum subventions to export tools, and that's one of our main exports, so it kind of makes sense just to make more. We're doing road maintenance, and I like that they added this number here. That's really nice. Remote social mobility, yeah, we're good. We got to 1.8 million because of that mass migration. Is it still ongoing? No, but we're high, so we're good. Keep that going. Looks like we can pay down more of our debt. So now we have a debt level of small, which is great. I think we're definitely paying a lot towards subsidies, yeah. So I'm curious to see if that's going to go down. So tooling workshops and, I mean, the food industry is barely anything. Our railways are doing really well as well. So it's the tool workshops that aren't exporting. And because steel's really expensive. So I'm going to do a urban steel mill, and we're going to plop that guy in here. Because we should be producing steel if we are consuming a ton of it. Like, we're already importing iron, so it makes sense to just continue importing that until we can facilitate like our own production of it, but steel is something we can solve. And then we are getting a minus 2k for taxation. Do we have any? We do have admin buildings, so I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that, and that should solve that. There we go. I don't know if we produce our own paper yet. We do, okay. We'll probably go with this option. We're going to probably have to import coal, so I'm going to look at that real quick. I will provide some subventions on the... No, we don't want to do that, actually. Alright, it's too late. We're already providing max subventions for the import, so that's good. Perfect. And then once this gets built, it should make the tools a little cheaper, I hope. Because right now we are overproducing quite a lot of tools. Yeah, no, I'm not slowing down production. I need my GDP to keep growing. We did bump this up to 10, I think. Or did we just bump it up to 6? I do like also that they're showing the attack and the defense capabilities of this stuff. Because I guess maybe I missed it at some point, but apparently these guys have more defense now, unless I'm mistaken. Well, it might just be because it's like that level 2. We go to Hussars. So they have a little bit more attack, same defense. Line infantry versus dragoons, you get more defense. That's actually the same. But the dragoons, I believe, use, yeah, 2 times as many small arms, so it doesn't really make any sense to do that. Alright, tech. I'm not sure if it tech spreaded or not. It looks like 3 years for the level 3s. We got 3 years for the level 2s as well. The tech spread's going to work on that stuff, and we're going to keep pushing down this construction section. I'll go for construction sector building throughput, and then I'll go for this one to get us more people back. Shift work. I don't know if we have rubber, but we're going to go for it. And then let's make our railways better. We'll see where we're at after that. I mean, dynamite's a good one too, but we really don't produce a lot of resources. The only reason that dynamite might be useful is for when we have these gold fields here. Yeah. We're not actually doing anything with this land yet. But we will. It'll improve. I think I'm going to work on improving relations with Venezuela and New Granada. My goal is to hopefully peacefully acquire Bolivar and French Guiana. And if we get Bolivar, I'd be interested to see if, or is it not considered a split state anymore? Oh, I'm thinking of New Granada. Okay. I was gonna say this also wouldn't be too bad if we could get the Amazonas. Yeah, ultimately I want to get this whole island chain. That'd be kind of nice. So, oh, no one owns that island? Interesting. Paradox. No one owns this island. It's unclaimed land. Look, it doesn't highlight. No man's land. Anyways. Still maxing out on their building. Gonna let this build up to 500 and hopefully we can pay off our debt portion, and that should be hopefully the end of our Haitian supremacist movement. Oh my goodness. You need to stop. But hopefully that'll be the end of our debt. Yeah, let's get more radicals. I love it. Anti-Britain? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. What did Britain do except give us free land? Ooh, maybe Denmark will give us these little states here. Let's see. State transfer. I think they already said no before. Yeah, the Danish West Indies. It's 120. That's not bad. They'll give us Greenland. Iceland. But we're going to focus on what makes sense for us. Looks like it's not going to work for them. So, oh well. Let's keep pushing. Hey, how's it going? It's the Polk here. Thanks for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Thanks, and have a great day.